From IBM TV, International Broadcast Media, this is your report from Washington. For the third consecutive evening, the Republican convention continued with its theme of God, country, and the American flag versus what the speakers called today the Dark Ages and tribalism. The Republicans made overtures to a policy platform with reference to school choice, anti-abortion, and again, indications from three different speakers that a second term for Trump would be accompanied by a wholesale withdrawal of American combat troops from around the world. Thereafter, the speakers invoked the legacy of former President Abraham Lincoln, comparing the social and racial unrest today to that in the early days prior to the American Civil War. The Republicans argued that America is again on the precipice of dark days, and only Donald Trump can lead us. In a curious turn of events, the speakers each appealed to a separate demographic group as if the speeches were following a campaign outreach plan. The outreach covered the African American community, evangelicals, law enforcement, women voters, with a heavy emphasis on highlighting the suffragist movement and the state of North Carolina. After standard stories of Trump's softer side, the Republicans returned to the red meat to rally their base. The usual list of favored grievances, including the bias of the media against Donald Trump, violence in the streets, China bashing, and the heroic battle Donald Trump has been fighting on behalf of the forgotten Americans, were at the top of the list. The evening ended with a standard speech from Vice President Pence, who was then joined on stage by Donald Trump and the First Lady. In a separate report, the total number of Americans watching the Republican convention dropped by 3 million people from day one to day two. In other news, the comprehensive COVID-19 relief package remains untouched by the Senate. However, it is clear now that it is on legislative life support. After 3 months, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, in an on-the-record interview, said that he supported the relief package if the parties could agree on the dollar amount and length of time for the supplemental unemployment insurance payments, specifically calling for the extension of the payments for longer than an additional 5 weeks. While seemingly uninspiring, it is indeed a crack in the Republican wall, given that the senators are now home for recess and facing the voters for the first time prior to the election. Senator McConnell himself is up for re-election in Kentucky. In our post office update, there has been no movement on the $25 billion emergency funding bill passed by the House, and it remains dead in the legislative process in the Senate. The current COVID death toll is over 180,000 Americans, with no end in sight. That is your report for this day, August 27th, 2020. From IBM TV, International Broadcast Media, smart TV for a smarter global community, from dictatorships to democracies around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I'm Bill Trezevant. Thank you.